All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Lang Trading Chat Room. It is June 6th, 2023. Hope you guys had an awesome day yesterday. Ready to rock and roll, get back at it again today. As always, if you're new, it's going to go something like this. We're going to start off with the market bias, take a look at the SPY and the Qs, determine which way we think the market's going to head today. After that, we will review the favorites list on the right-hand side of the screen right here. We are not going to blindly buy or sell any of these ideas. These are simply ideas. We need a pattern to trade them because we are pattern traders. Funny how that works out, isn't it? Make sure you guys, as always, are practicing proper money management. Make sure you have something to trade with. Don't risk too much too soon. This is a challenging business. You're not going to get rich quick or earn while you learn. So make sure you're doing it the right way. If you need help with that, you need help figuring out money management, figuring out a trading plan, any of that stuff, make sure you check out the Lang Trading Discord. Great resources in there, and you can get some personalized feedback as well. So with that, let's jump into these markets, guys. So SPY and Qs both a flat open again today. A flat open on both. For the second day in a row, we've had a flat open. So a bit interesting here. Going in with a neutral bias again as well today. So could really go either way. If we break yesterday's support at that 426.50 area, we do have some room to drop. So maybe we do go lower. I'm leaning towards the bearish side. We do have a few more short ideas than long ideas at the moment. So leaning towards the bearish side, but going in with a pretty neutral bias. Would not be surprised if we kind of just chopped around, maybe bounce off that 426 area and then just kind of hang out in this zone we're building up here. So neutral bias, leaning bearish, could go either way really. So kind of a wait and see there. Let's start going through this list right here. Got a few decent ideas on the gap list. So first up is this STEM, STEM. So gapping up just a little bit, just under this pivot at 574. So if we get over that area, got pretty nice void up to, I don't know, 650, at least $6. So this thing does about 50 cents a day, so should have some range left after we get over that resistance. But nonetheless, keep an eye on it. It's not doing great pre-market volume, a little bit thin, but it is not too bad. So actually, it's not doing too bad. 76,000 shares in the pre-market, so that's a pretty good amount. It just looks a little thin on the 1 minute. But hey, good morning, Casey. How are you doing today? It's a fine Tuesday. Is it Tuesday? Is it Tuesday? It's Tuesday. All right. And these short weeks got me all messed up. It's a fine Tuesday, though. So next up on the list, we got Shopify. So this one's gapping up over these little double top pivot on the hourly chart. Should have pretty easy room up to 64. After that, might be a little tough. Average day on this thing is about $2. We got exactly $2 up to that $64 area. So looking to get a trade up to that spot. Probably not going to go too much past it, but I do like this gap, so keep an eye on the Shopify. Next up is Thor Industries, THO. So this one's gapping up. This is actually a really nice gap. The volume is my biggest issue. It's only doing 24,000 shares. Not a ton of volume, but more than usual, so that's good. And I mean, this gap is just really nice, though, guys. We're gapping over a big, long consolidation. Should have room up to at least $90, maybe like 92 even. So keep an eye on this one. Might even be my top watch of the day. I really like this THO quite a bit, so I will be watching that one. Hey, what's up, Cornelius? Let's check. Let's take a look at the US 30. It's part of the market. Why not? Looking like it's gonna have a is it flat open here. Well, let's do this instead. Look at the DIA. Same exact stock essentially. So it is another flat open. So popped. Kind of same as the SPY and the Qs. Neutral bias. Leaning more bearish on this one though, because I mean this one is you are gapping under that support. So it is a small gap, but it's still gapping down under yesterday's support down there. So looking a little bit more bearish on the Dow today than the SPY and the Qs. But nonetheless, like I said, still got some support down here with some moving averages and such. So not super set on the bearish bias, but definitely looking a little bit more bearish than the SPY and the Qs. So there's that. Maybe I should just start putting this on the Dow. I don't like the Dow. It's only 30 stocks. It doesn't do a great representation of the whole market, but I'll keep reviewing it for you. But I'm gonna stick with the SPY and Qs on this list here. All right. So I appreciate you asking that, Cornelius. Appreciate that. There we go. All right. Next up, we have coins. So Coinbase gapping down with the Bitcoin's gapping down, or had not gapped down. But had a pretty nasty sell off yesterday. I think there was some news about like Binance or something like that getting sued by the SEC. So took the Bitcoin down just a little bit. So Coin and Riot, both blockchain technologies, or crypto related, whatever it is. Both of these are gapping down. So watch these. Watch these before I move lower. I do like Coin quite a bit better. It's not hard to borrow either, so it should be good to get shares there. So keep an eye on this one, man. This has really nice void all the way down to $30. So really nothing holding it up. Definitely keep an eye on the Coin. Riot as well, gapping under this big consolidation here. You can watch like Amera here as well. Not gapping as much, so that's why I have Riot and Coin as opposed to this. But really, the whole crypto sector, you can watch it short today with that sell off on Bitcoin yesterday. So next up, we have FRO, Frontline PLC. So this one's gapping down, kind of a carryover from yesterday. So ended up selling off pretty nice yesterday, moving a little bit lower today. Should have room down to about $13, maybe a little bit more. Average day on this is 50 cents, so don't expect too much past 13, but definitely is a nice void. Definitely in a nice little pseudo stage 4 downtrend. So keep an eye on that one short. Getting under that 50 period or 200 period moving average, so definitely showing some weakness on the FRO. Next up, we have App 11 Corporation. So this one's gapping up after a nice little consolidation. It is a bit extended up here. You can see like on the weekly chart, we're a little bit extended. We did have some rest though, so not too bad, but something to keep in mind for sure. Not doing a whole lot of volume either in the pre-market. You can see we only have like 1,000 shares here, so definitely gonna need to see some volume coming to this thing. But I do like it if we get that volume. It has pretty decent void to run. I mean, there's really nothing holding it back. So other than being a little bit extended and a little light on the volume, I do like this one quite a bit. Next up, we have DG, so Dollar General. So this one's been just super weak. Gap down, had that just nasty day last week. A little bit of consolidation here, and now we're gapping down again. Maybe we get another continuation here. So worth keeping an eye on. Not doing a whole lot of volume in the pre-market, but definitely worth keeping an eye on. Like I said, very weak stock, gapping down. If the markets end up going lower today, you definitely want to keep an eye on the DG. Next up, we have Sienna Corporation, SIEN. So this one's gapping down right into a bit of support. So whenever I first put this on the list, it was right down in that 42.60 area. It since has moved up just a little bit. So I'm going to need it to be under 42.60 before I take it, but I do like it under that spot. Has a nice void. Should have room down to about $40, so or 41. So definitely keep an eye on this one if it gets down to that 42.60 area. Last up is ASO, Academy Sports and Outdoor. All right, so this one is gapping down a little bit. Gonna need to get under that pivot at $47 before I'm interested. Really, there's not much to it, guys. It's been a weak stock, bouncing, but I'm not taking it above that support. If we get under there, we do have room down to, I don't know, $44, maybe even 42. So definitely got the room to go if it gets under that support. So another one, kind of a wait and see. It is doing really good volume. In the pre-market, it did get under that support pretty significantly. So little earnings gap. So definitely keep an eye on this one under that $47 mark. All right, and that does it for my list today. As always, if you guys have any questions, comments, stocks, cryptos, ETFs you want looked at, make sure you throw them up in the chat log. I don't really have any backup ideas. Both of these guys gapping down, some decent gaps, but they're hard to borrow, so I'm not going to be able to trade those. And then on the long side, I had a few ideas. Just kind of throwing stuff on there, really. Netflix, kind of a pseudo hourly buy setup. AMD, kind of the same sort of thing. Maybe it goes higher. And this GitLab, it gapped up like 30%, so probably not going to be able to go long on that. But All right, guys, market is open. OPEN. Let's get off. Let's make some money today. All right. Let's go. All right, what we got going on, guys? SPY and Q's looking a little bit weak at the moment. Selling off to start the day. So I really want to see how we do with that. The low from yesterday. It was at 426.37. So I mean, we got down there real quick, already testing it. So we'll see if we're able to hold that support or if we end up going lower here. Qs are right in that same area. Looks like we are right there. Yeah. So 85 is the real. Actually, well, there we go. So we already broke yesterday's low. So we're not gonna have an inside day. We're not gonna have an inside day. We've broken the low from yesterday. So. Definitely leaning towards the bearish side today. Coinbase moving up a little bit. Riot is chopping around. Let's see. This FRO is kind of hanging out. That app it ended up gapping down a little bit more. So yeah, the volume did end up being an issue. So maybe you can watch it over the high from yesterday, but it's going to be a little bit tough to trade there. Guys, DG's looking a little bit interesting. Looking short right now. CN a little lower. Academy Sports, it bounced right at that support, didn't it? So you can still watch Academy under low of the day. I do like it under low of the day, so watch that. Stem is moving higher. Stem's moving on up. So keep an eye on this one over that area where it's at right now, 574. That's the line in the sand. That's where we're at. So watch that one. Shopify as well. Shopify is looking a little bit interesting here. And then this THOs. It's a little bit of a range concern already, kind of chopping around off the open, but definitely still keep an eye on that one. Markets are looking really weak right now. Really, none of my short ideas are moving down with it. So watch. A couple of the longs showing some good relative strength. That stem popped over resistance there. DG's moving down a little bit. Guys, keep an eye on that CN. A little bit of a range concern, but I like where it's at, right at that $42 mark. Keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on the CN. Riot's moving lower here as well. So guys, watch Riot under 995 actually. I like that quite a bit. Watch Riot under 995. Gonna need a little bit more. I'm not gonna just hop in under these two lows right there. So keep an eye on it. Riot under 995. Markets are looking pretty weak right now. Moving lower here. So there goes Riot, kind of peekabooing lower. Guys, Stem still has a lot of range left, so keep an eye on this one. Showing really good strength at the moment. Shopify's pulling in. The THO still hanging out, looking okay. Coinbase is looking a little bit interesting under that low of the day. Keep an eye on it. Watch Coinbase. Riot's kind of peekaboo down there. Fro moving up a bit. All right. CN all the way back up. So maybe keep an eye on it under low of the day, but not my favorite idea anymore. Academy Sports is moving up a little more than what you like to see. DG's put in a nice big bottoming tail right here. Volume spike. So just hold on at the moment, guys. No trades for me yet. Not really looking at anything too closely right now. I do like this coin and Riot short. I do like these. Riot's getting it going. Would have been 995. 1005 would have been way too tight. Probably would have got to give it high today. Maybe 20 cents. So not bad. Still has plenty of range for another trade. So do not cross Riot off your list at all. Do not cross Riot off. Same with Coin. I like Coin quite a bit actually. 46.76. Probably have to give it like a dollar stop loss at least. At least a dollar stop. You could really give it high of the day, but that's a little bit unnecessary. Might be a little bit too safe there. The THO ended up selling off. Shopify's moving lower. Still watching Stim. That's really the only long idea I have at the moment. The app. If app gets all the way back to high of the day, maybe. Guys, Coinbase though. I do like this Coinbase. It's not gonna really like that. I'm not gonna just randomly hop in there. So need a little bit more of a base. A little more. I don't like to rush into these 1 minute charts, you know. Stim is still looking okay. Keeping on the stim, like maybe like a 10-cent stop over high of the day there. Anything on the backup longs? Man, my long list went to junk quick. And not anything at all. So, not much here, guys. The backup list isn't looking too hot either. Keeping on this stim, this STEM. This is a top watch at the moment. SPY and Qs have sold off to start the day, pulling into that 426 spot. We'll see if we bounce here at all. Looks like we're gonna get some sort of bounce to this whole number on the SPY and the Qs. So, guys, watch this stim. STEM. It's not gonna rest, is it? Really, no great patterns on it. There's nothing to do with it yet for me. And there's just, if you were getting into this, you're just gonna be buying high of the day. So I'm gonna wait. Still has over half its range left, guys. So don't cross it off your list yet. It's got plenty of range. Plenty of range there. Shopify's looking weak. The THO, man, that thing's already done a pretty wide range day. So I don't know. That thing probably just gonna chop around most of the day. Coinbase still looking lower, so keep an eye on that one. Riot is alright. Needs a little pattern, but definitely has room to go. Fro is chopping around. CN, man, that was not a buy or sell setup. That was 100% retracement, so not a sell setup there. It's definitely going lower. ASO does not look like it's going lower, so I do like Coin right now. It's probably one of my top watches. Coin and Riot both. I like those. And the stim as well. So I'm going to keep an eye on the stim. STEM. Like I said, this thing, average day on this is about 48.50 cents. It's only done 28 right now. So if we get some sort of buy setup, some sort of breakout on this, I do like it. I do like it. Riot. Still got a lot of range on Riot as well. So watch this. I'm forming like a pseudo sell setup right here. Watch this Riot for a sell setup, guys. It's not actually too bad. Not too bad. Just above the 50% retracement. You do have the lower lows and lower highs. So watch Riot. 980. Yeah. You could get in on this bar, 983. That'd be a lot better. 983 by 1003, 20-cent stop. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna look for. I'm gonna try and get this on the Riot. I'm trying to get this Riot sell setup right here. We'll see if it actually ends up going for us. Looks like. Alright, so it's going to be 982 by 1002, 20-cent stop. Alright, guys, I'm not sure if I'm going to get that. So I put my order in. It's going to be a limit order. There we go. We did get filled. So Riot. So 1 minute sell setup. 982 by 1002. What was that? What was that alert that just popped off here? Oh, AMD's moving up. So AMD, maybe we can watch this for a long idea. Because AMD's looking strong right here, so keep an eye on this one. AMD. Alright. Here we go. Shopify all the way back up to its high of the day, guys. This ain't have range left. Yeah, guys, watch Shopify actually. Watch Shopify. I like that long. Really get a nice pop here. So we are in the Riot. The 1 minute sell setups off to a not so hot start. So we'll see if it holds VWAP, holds that 990 area. Guys, watch Shopify. Keep an eye on this AMD as well. I want to watch AMD. Put that on my favorites list right there. There we go. All right. Stem looking very interesting here. Stem buy setup looking very interesting. Right at 50% retracement, 590 by 580. Guys, I'm about to get an order ready on this actually. I need 6 out of it. 590 by 580 on the stem. 590 by 580. Let's see here. Clean little buy setup. Still got the range doing. Volume is good. I guess. Pretty smooth pullback. All right, I'm going to go ahead and send this stem 590 by 580. And 590 by 580. Little 1 minute buy setup. Not the world's cleanest buy setup, but still there. Still the strongest stock that I see so far. So we're in that. Riot, we are in as well. So I'm going to move my stop down just a little bit on Riot. Just a few pennies. That big bottoming tail is not exactly what you want to see when you're getting into a buy set or sell setup. So, and Riot's actually looking higher over 990 at this point. So this is what it is. Okay, guys. Cancel stem as well. Just put in a pretty nasty red bar. So cancel stem. Cancel the stem. Still watching Shopify. Still watching the Shopify. Market's looking a little bit lower. Kind of choppy right here. Yeah, Shopify is definitely my top watch at the moment. I like this one quite a bit. See if we can't get maybe a buy setup or something out of here. AMD is still interesting as well. So watch the AMD up here. I don't really like the 15 minute. It's got this one pivot up here, 121.60. So a little bit of junk over the 121 area, but really nice volume, really good strength. So keep an eye on the AMD. Keep an eye on it for sure. Shopify. Yeah, I got Shopify 1 minute buy setup. Very interesting. Give it like a dollar stop loss. Doesn't have that much range left, but so you probably tighten the stop up a little bit. But I do like that. Do like it. Keep an eye on it. All right. Is that Real Riot? Son of a biscuit. Man, that's annoying. I thought that was a decent little buy setup. Sell setup. Riot, trail out. Alright. Guys, still watching the stem. STEM. Still watching that. Keep an eye on it. Stem and shop. 3-minute shot. Let's switch to the 5-minute. See what we got here. And Shopify does not look as good on the 5-minute, but that 1 minute, hard to argue with. I'm thinking about getting in right here on the. I'm gonna hold off, guys. I'm gonna wait for the 5-minute. I'm gonna wait for the 5. I'm not gonna force it. I'm just gonna wait for the 5. AMD's moving higher. See the Apple tank yesterday on the news? Yeah, dude, that Apple. I mean, sheesh, that was wild, dude. Did you see that? Did you guys see the conference, that Apple conference with the goggles? That was weird, man. I don't know about that. I don't know if I can just sit in my living room with a pair of goggles on my face and just scroll. That looks like it's like that Wall-E shit, you know, where they're sitting in their little chairs, rolling around. You guys know what I'm talking about. I don't know about that. I'm not surprised it tanked, bro. That was weird. Trying to talk about spatial computing and all this crap. I don't. Get out of here. Get out of here, Apple. We don't need that in our lives. It's not Lindy. It's like anti-Lindy. But you know what? Before that happened, I didn't make my money. I had my stop to break even by the time the news conference came out, so I wasn't gonna get hurt. But had a nice little pop, barely pulled the cheese on it, and then it just rolled over after that. So I pulled the cheese on Apple. Ended up getting my fix, my share. So didn't really care what it did after that. That's AMD. Man, look at that riot! Really just ripping up here. I mean, it was not that bad. Jeez. I mean, you're into a nice void, plenty of room to drop. Definitely did not see Riot bouncing like that. That was impressive. That was an impressive bounce. Ended up getting a little slippage too, so it was actually a full 1 hour loss. Shopify still a little bit interesting over the high. AMD needs some rest here. Coin moving up, Riot moving up, Fro. I suppose you can still watch the FRO short. Still got plenty of range left. The volume is pretty decent as well, so keep an eye on the FRO short. You can watch the Fro short for sure. Other than that, I don't see a whole lot. THO, man, looks a little bit higher over high of the day, but it's already had a $4 day. Like, how much more do you think this thing has in it? I don't know. It's not really my cup of tea. Dollar General is looking a little higher. Seeing, whatever. I'm not seeing a whole lot, guys. Let me check out this W for you, KC. W daily chart, 47. All right, stop loss. All right, stop loss at 43, so right up here. Target up to 52. That's a pretty reasonable trade. A little bit extended, but yeah, the target's very, very doable. And that target you can get there within a day or two. So I do like that. You are getting out of this stage 1, maybe a very early stage 2, finally getting over that moving average right there. So yeah, I can definitely see that thing getting up to that $52 area before stopping you out. I like it. Pretty solid there. Stim. Right. Shop, AMD. Yeah. Like I said, I don't have a whole lot right now that I'm liking. You can watch FRO long, THO. Like I said a minute ago, it's gonna be tough. And if you wanted that, this breakout. You need the tightest stop you can go is $1.42. I would recommend going at least $2. Tightest stop you're gonna want to do is $1.40, and I mean, it's gonna be you need like a $5-6 day out of this for just the 1 hour target. So you're just gonna need a huge move out of that. And I don't know if it's there today. Maybe it is. Maybe you guys know something I don't, but As an odds-based trader, the odds of that continuing to rip higher is just not there. It's already had a big day. It's got resistance right here at 90 bucks. All right, guys, AMD is still very interesting. Looking even better now that it's all the way up here in this 121 area. So keep an eye on AMD over high of the day. Not a ton of range left at this point. Actually, no range left. It's already done its average trading range, but hasn't really exceeded it. It's just right there at it. Coin, Riot, yeah. You can still watch Riot short, guys. I'm not sold on this one going too much higher, so you can still watch that. I really don't see a whole lot right now. We'll do a little bit of scanning, I suppose. Markets are pretty choppy at the moment. Moved lower, bounced up pretty good. Facebook's moving up. Amazon's trying to move up. Just watch Amazon over high of the day. That's not too bad. USB's not too bad. A little bit interesting there in high of the day. Some of the banking stocks actually do look higher, so keep an eye on the banking sector. BAC, USB, those sort of things. Hey, hello from Omaha. How you doing, my man? So I'm going to add a few of these to my list here. Citigroup, bang. Add that one too, I suppose. All right. Good morning, my man. Ryan Patterson, welcome. Looking at Disney. Let's check it out. Wait. Now I thought I was going to sneeze there for a second, but I guess it just went away. Shame. All right, looking at Disney. Are you trying to swing trade this time, or are you day trading it? For day trading purposes, you can actually keep an eye on it. That's a decent little void up here. Should have room to, I don't know, 93 bucks, maybe even 94. It's the range. Got some good range left, so yeah, you can keep an eye on this one. It gives you a little breakout up here. For swing trading it, there's not much to do with swing trading. You see it's in that stage 4. It's right in that stage 1. Hasn't really confirmed that it's getting into a stage 2 yet, so maybe it goes lower and breaks down. Maybe it moves up and tries to get over 100. But right now, I'm not kind of indifferent about where I'm at with swing trading. It could really go either way. So until you get over this $100 area and make some higher highs and higher lows, I probably would not be swing trading it long, and probably would stay away from shorting it until it's under this $83 area. So wait for a little more confirmation on a swing trade. It looks like it's in that stage 1, so I'd say the stage 2 is more likely than the stage 4, but I mean, you don't have to be the first person in the stock. You don't have to be the first person in. So if it was me, I'd wait for a little more confirmation that it's actually in a stage 2 uptrend. So, as Shopify looking interesting. Shopify right here. Little pseudo buy setup. $1.21 on the stop. What do you mean? 80 extra cents. Just over 63. Keep an eye on this, guys. Thinking about getting in here. Maybe tighten the stop up a little bit more. Guys, watch that Shopify. 61.93, 61.13. That's a very pseudo buy setup, though. Honestly, that's really not the greatest pattern up there. VXX, you're looking at that, Casey? Let me check it. Let me roll through my list real fast, make sure I'm not missing anything. Yeah, I'm not that Shopify. It's more of a wedge pattern. Not a big fan of the wedges. Coins moving up, Riot moving up, O, App, BG. All right. Yeah, so keeping on some of these bank stocks, guys. I do like the bank sector. Actually, Disney's looking very interesting up here as well. Disney over high today, guys. Keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on Disney over. It needs more time. It just started that 5 minute bar, but keep an eye on it. Okay, VXX is this some sort of ETF? So it's the S&P 500 VIX short-term ETF. I mean, this is a decaying ETF, so I mean, I hope you're not going too long on it. Okay, you're going short. Okay, that's good. Short 30 by 32, 20 down to 27. I think you could do that. You are, I mean, you're pretty extended down. These things do just continue to drop lower, but and this is hard to borrow, so usually these aren't very. It's usually pretty hard to short a decaying ETF just to get the shares for it. So that's probably going to be the biggest issue here is actually getting the shares. But I mean, if you could short it, just hold on to it forever because it's just going to keep going lower and lower and lower and lower and lower. So it's a great short if you can get the shares. All right, man. I am liking this Disney quite a bit actually. 92.51. Probably give it a 51 cent stop right down to 92 bucks. You're gonna need 93 out of it. Got the range to do it. Shouldn't be an issue there. Next area of resistance is going to start at that $93 area, right where that little pivots was. Really, 94 is the next pivot, but probably get a hiccup at 93. So, guys, keep an eye on the Disney. Keep a very close eye on that Disney. I like it. Stem, shop. AMD's still AMD's less interesting just because it's already got a big range concern. Now it's exceeded that range by a good amount. So maybe you get some sort of sell set or buy setup, pull back to VWAP, get like a $1.20 on the stop loss and get out before high of the day. But it's probably the only position I'm looking at for there. All right, keep an eye on Disney. Need to keep an eye on the Disney. Stem, what's Stem up to? Is this thing still tradable? Oh man, this is very, very much still tradable. Still got good range here. You could get in with a 20 cent stop loss, high of the day by this pivot at 577. It's a good trade. So watch that. And guys, I'm watching Disney and I'm watching Stem. Markets have bounced pretty good off support. Now we're looking a little bit higher here. All right. So Disney, guys, I'm gonna get an order ready on Disney. 92.51 by 92. 92.51 by 92. We're gonna need 93.01, 93.02, just over that whole number. All right. Give that thing a few pennies there. All right, guys. Man, I really would like this to rest a little bit more. I really would like to see Disney rest some more. Do not like getting in. It hasn't even made a lower low. Like every single bar has just been higher low. So this thing really has not been tested. It really hasn't been tested too well. So I'd really love it to come back down to 92. Put in like a bottoming tail or like an engulfing bar or something. That would give me that confirmation. Ooh. So still watching Disney. Got my eye on the Stem. And Riot really did it, dude. That was a tough trade there. All right. So this is kind of what I want to see on Disney: either more consolidation or a retest and right back up. So I am. It's really extended right now. So I'm gonna hold off on the Disney for the moment. Keep my eye peeled on my thumbnail watch list. All right. I don't see much else. Shopify's still chopping around here, so you can still watch Shopify, but it's going to need to get a much better pattern. Stem's still looking interesting as well, but again, going to need a little bit of a better breakout here. Especially with such a tight stop on Disney, I'd really like to see it retest, man. Really like to see that retest. I might tighten it up just a little bit more, just so I can get out before that whole number at 93. What? There we go. There we go. All right, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and get this order in on Disney. I think I'm gonna keep a very, very close eye on it. If it breaks 92, I will cancel. And I hope it just kind of chops around here for a little bit longer. But I'm gonna go ahead and get that order in there on the Diz 92.05. Damn. Shopify ended up looking pretty decent actually. You would have got the tight stop, 56 cents. We're already up to target. Wow. Man, got me a little bit. Man, I should have just flipped this and went long on this thing as soon as it started doing this. 20-cent stop loss. You're up 2R on the right. Son of a gun. Might just have to start trading my instincts. Shit, dude. Been whipped around this week. Fro. Maybe you should have traded that instinct too. $1.42. It's up 350. Man. Whoa. Okay. Okay. I feel like I've been a little off this week. I'm not gonna lie. Like the headspace mentality hasn't been quite there. Guys, this ASO looks a little bit higher right now. A little interesting on the ASO. Riot moving up, BAC, Citigroup. I mean, I feel like I should have probably been in that Shopify, honestly. I'm getting a little bit worried about the in particulars, but damn. Man. I feel like I've just been, like my trading instincts and what I'm actually doing is just not on the same page this week. Just not on the same page. Like, right? Like I said, man. As soon as I got into this thing and put in that bottoming tail, it's like, that thing's going higher. This right here is telling me that buyers are stepping up. So I feel like I need to have something in my plan that allows me to just flip it, get out, and get back in with another trade. I don't know. Always work to be done, man. You can always improve. That's for damn sure. We're always going to be making improvements, getting better, just refining that trading plan. Yeah, that probably should have been there. AMD, I don't think nothing special I missed there. Coin moving up still. Froze higher. And that THO, I guess it wasn't the whole world's worst trade. Look, even when I was saying it wasn't bad, I was like, well, there is some good issues here. I mean, right at $90, that's definitely an area of support and resistance. Consolidating right there. But man, on earnings, Give it $1.50. It's up 350. Yeah, man, that's just fear of loss, dude. Fear of loss is my biggest issue in trading. Just having that, whoa, it might not work, just I get that a lot. I get the fear of loss a lot. That's really is my biggest issue I need to work out with trading. What is it about those stocks that makes me scared of them? Still watching the Disney guys. Still looking good. This thing puts in a buy setup. Like I just measured out here. If it comes back and goes a little bit further down here, I will be watching that for a buy setup. I'll probably change my entry. So watch the Disney still. So I got my order in for the high of the day breakout, but I'm not crossing that buy setup off my list. I'm not going to get in on this buy setup here. It's a little too shallow for me, but if it goes a little bit deeper, I like it. Watching the team. Team. Let's see about it. A little bit extended on this daily right off the bat. Stage 4, stage 1, transition to that stage 2 potentially. So nice there, going long on it. 192, so up here. Stop loss 184. Your stop loss is a little bit tight there. I'm not gonna lie, a little bit tight on the stop. Target of 208. Yeah, I'd see this thing pull back before it gets to 2.0. Maybe it just rips and goes higher, but I mean, you're already up quite a few green days in a row. I wouldn't be surprised if this thing came back, consolidated in this area of resistance right here. What was resistance, probably act now as support. So this one's a little bit tough here, a little extended with a bit of a tight stop. So good. I mean, it's in the right stage, in that early stage 2 transition, but yeah, had a few issues with it for sure. All right. So, got the order in on Disney. Not much else at the moment. Let's check out some of the swing trades and see how these guys are doing today. FSK, we need a little more for target. Ooh, the frog is having a nice big day. NWSA is not doing much. DALs, it's trying to get up there. Good stuff there. Ooh, Duolingo, almost the first target right there. Rome is chopping around. Looks like Fresh triggered us in. And then the OHI, did this thing go in? It looks like it probably triggered us in. Just barely peekabooed us there. So looking pretty solid on the swing trades. RCO just continues to rip higher. And that was a nice one. That was a nice clean breakout right there. Let's see what the back. Let's see what anything else doing good. Figs. I might be getting into a trade on figs here soon. Toast still looking interesting. JBL looking very interesting, man. If this thing doesn't go higher trigger today, definitely gonna be into that tomorrow. Man, this toast is so annoying. It literally just triggered me out by freaking pennies. Freaking pennies, man. Oh. Alright, still watching the Disney. I don't really like the buy setup, honestly. I'm probably going to leave my stop too. I know my stop is a little bit above those pivots, but I'm going to leave it just because I do really want to get out of this before that whole number. So I'm not going to be waiting for over 93. Alright, guys. I need somebody to like just take my trades for me. Like I'll do the analysis, I'll just sit here and watch, but instead of me actually putting the orders in, I'll just tell somebody else to. I feel like that'd be nice and easy. Wouldn't have to think about it, wouldn't have to see it. Just you know what, this isn't going short, this is going higher. Flip the trade. PHL, a little bit annoyed I didn't get this one on. I mean, the range was definitely a concern, guys. Double its average trading range, but that is a really nice gap, and it's on earnings, absolutely stellar gap, consolidating at an area of resistance. Like, I know I was telling you guys not to take it too. I mean, that was fear of loss, big time fear of loss, ignoring all the good stuff about the trade and just scared of over one little aspect of the trade. Can't be doing that. All right, STEM is still a little bit interesting. It's getting worse though. Shopify is another one. I was watching it, just staring right at it. So there's nothing really bearish about this. Putting some big old bottoming tails, came up, rested above VWAP. Could have gave it a 50 to 60 cent stop loss. Bam, you're out in like a couple minutes. I mean, I had the doubt. I had big time doubt. Bouncing at an area of support. Like, look at that. Look at that. Come on. Fear of loss, man. It's been killing my results here lately. Right, man. Right, still got the order in on Disney. Still got an order on Disney. BAC is looking a bit interesting up here, actually. Citigroup as well. Guys, watch Citigroup. Actually. Yeah, watch Citigroup. We'll keep an eye on Citigroup. Watch, see, it's going like right here, but the other banking stocks are worthwhile. Not really. Not too much. And there's nothing trading in a void like those two. So we'll keep an eye on potentially. Oops. Man, the buy setup on Disney is looking a little bit more interesting. I'm not gonna lie. Let me just lower this thing down 92.25 by 91.75. A little bit interesting there on the Disney. We'll check that out in just a second there, Casey. I'm gonna hold off. I'm not gonna rush into this. But little interesting, guys. STEM. Watch this over high today. 596. You can still give it a 20-cent stop loss. Still has the range for that. Markets continue to look a little bit higher up here. Alright, this thing's going to need to rest though, so I'm going to go ahead and check Bill real fast. Bill Holdings, let's see. Long at 112, so another one. Stage 4, kind of that pseudo stage 1, maybe very, very early stage 2. Entry 112. Stop loss at 101. So you got a pretty wide stop there. So even if it pulls back, should be good. Target up to 132. So target's right in this next area of resistance. So it's not too bad. I do like this one. At least you're getting over the 200. I would expect a little more consolidation here. So you may pull back and retest this 104, 105 area. The 101 stop should be okay. Next target to 132 is a decent sized move, but it's doable for sure. Yeah, not a bad idea on the bill. US 30 did a nice buy profit well from that. Good, I like to hear that. Ended up just kind of peekabooing below resistance there and popped up. Nice. Good stuff. Glad to hear. I mean, like I said, I was a little more bearish on this, gapping down under support, but ended up holding, bouncing out of that 335 area. Bounced right back up into resistance here, so we will see. Put in a buy, 35.23. 33.523. Oh, I like that. You're getting in right over these pivots, right over that pivot right there. Would you have like a 39 cent stop low of the day? Bam, 63. You're up over an hour and a half, basically. Not a bad spot to buy. You definitely got some support down here. Kind of a pseudo buy setup. Not a bad spot to get in over 33,523. Not bad. That stem still looking very interesting. 596 by 577. 596 by 577. Looking at it. Ooh. A lot of range. This thing's doing pretty good volume. Oh, yeah. Let's go ahead and get an order in. $596 by $577. We need, what is it, 6 something? 615. Alright, guys. Probably sending this order pretty quickly. Disney's pulling back a little bit more, so it's getting less likely that I end up entering that trade on Disney. I do like this stem, though. Stem's looking interesting over high of the day. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and enter this order on stem. 596 by 577. One second. Give me 1 second. So I would like stem to chop around here for another few minutes before it triggers. That would be ideal. If it doesn't do that, nothing in the world. But yeah, I do like this one quite a bit. Good range left on this. Man, I'm really annoyed I didn't get this Shopify, honestly. This one, I mean, it was right there. I was watching it, about to get an order ready for it. And I just didn't. Alright, so Disney, peekaboo below that area. So I'm getting a little bit worried about the Disney, honestly. Tell you what, that buy setup is looking a bit better. But, alright guys, so we are in the stem. We did not get any slippage, so good stuff there. I'm probably going to go ahead and raise my stop up on this pretty quickly up to that 580 mark. So I'll go ahead and raise it a few pennies here. Okay. Alright, so there we go. Stop is raised. Target on this is 615. So getting up to that $6 area. See if we can break through with some force. Yes, so it's probably not traded today. CN, probably not. Riot's moving up. DG's probably not going to be traded. Coinbase, same thing. App, same thing. THL, man, don't tempt me like this. Looks so, it really does look tempting. Nice little clean buy setup. This thing hadn't literally like tripled its average trading range, I might actually be into that. Row, not doing much. Citigroup's getting into a lot of resistance up here, so getting a little bit tough to trade that. Disney's still kind of chopping around there. Stim is off to a real nice start. Let's see if we can get another pop out of this thing. Like what we've done so far. I'm going to go ahead and raise this up a little bit more actually. 583. Here we go. So now we got a much more manageable risk there. Shot. A little bit tempted on go long on shop here. Very aggressive though. You're definitely over that average trading range at this point, but next area of resistance is really up to 64 bucks. So I'll keep an eye on it. If this breakout gets a little bit better, I'll be watching it. But, ooh, man, kind of a lackluster day here, guys. Markets sold off to start the day, and then since then we've just really bouncing, holding the support. Let's see if we roll over or if we kind of chop around and stay higher. But really not a whole lot from my list. The stim, I do like this trade. Didn't really see a whole lot to trade on it in the pre-market. Probably could have bought like a 1 minute high there, 10-cent stop. But that's what I'm saying, man. If I had like somebody to actually trade for me, I could just tell them to do that. Wouldn't have to see it. Wouldn't have to think about it. And these styles, they go on in my head, but I don't follow through with them just because they're not all the way there, you know? But I don't know. Shopify, probably definitely could have had this one. Easy little 1R there. Didn't see much on AMD. That one would have been tough to find a good trade there. Disney's off to a good start. Or not a good start, I mean, but it's still chopping around, kind of hanging out. Not doing anything wrong, really. Citigroup, there really wasn't much to trade with the Citigroup. FRO didn't have anything, really. THO definitely had something we could have traded there, man. 89.77. $1.40 on the stop. 350 is what it went to. Could have had that one. Could have had the shop. That would have been 2R there. BAC. Guys, you can still watch BAC actually. This thing is looking really nice. Keep an eye on BAC, man. Keep an eye on BAC. Over 29.10. I like it. I do. I want to see a little more rest, but keep an eye on that one. CN didn't really have a good trade for us. APP definitely didn't. ASO, nothing. Riot. Man, I really should have just gotten out of this whenever I saw this happening. Whenever I saw I triggered in right here, the little buy setup, right there. Got in. This is not a bad sell setup. Not by any means. About a 50% retracement, plenty of room to move lower, good volume. I liked it. Whenever it started doing this, whenever it started putting in those bottoming tails, putting in that breakout area at 990, should have gotten out. Could have even flipped it. And it just went on to rip. Gotta get a little bit better with trading, a little bit quicker with the trading, I suppose. Alright, so stim's still looking pretty good. Moving up to 606. So, what was it? We had a 19-cent stop loss. Went up 10 cents. So, went over just over half an hour. Need a little more out of that thing. But it is looking pretty good at the moment. Maybe raising my stop up on this again here soon. So, Shopify, very interesting up here as well. If it doesn't break right here, actually that's it. It's a 5-minute bar, isn't it? Man, it's gonna break though. Couldn't even wait 4 seconds. So Nothing to do there. Looking at DFS, Casey. DFS. Let's see. I don't know what this is. DFS. All right. Daily chart entry 112. So you're getting it up here. A little bit extended up. I don't know what these lines are. I haven't looked at this stock in a while. I have no idea what those lines are. DFS entry 112. Stop at 107.60. Not too bad, but you are just a little bit extended. And if this thing comes back and retests this support area, uh, you could definitely be getting tagged out at 107.60. So be mindful of that. Target is up to 118. So, I mean, you're good. It might be a little bit tough when you get to the 116 area, but 118 is definitely the next spot of true solid resistance there. So, not too bad. Guys, I will be right back. All right, I'm back. My girlfriend, she lets the dog out and then she leaves to go run errands. You can't just leave the puppy out there, man. You can, they're fine, but she's scratching at the back door and stuff. Oh. All right, guys, Disney, I'm canceling Disney. Cancel the Disney. Cancel Biz. Is pulling back more than what I want to see it pull back. Let's see what the fat man list is up to. Anything popping today? Man, look at Facebook. Wow. Straight green bars. Impressively strong. Guys, Amazon actually pretty interesting up here as well. Chopping around right below that resistance area. Guys, watch Amazon actually. Watch Amazon. What do we got here? I think the tightest stop you can go is like 80 cents. Maybe you get 65 out of it, but I think 80 cents would be the stop to go with there. Yeah, watch that. Watch Amazon. Amazon. So I'm going to watch Amazon here. There we go. Alright, nothing else really. I don't see much else. Amazon's pretty sloppy too. I want to make sure I note that. Amazon, it's not a clean breakout by any means. But it is there. It is in the right spot that it needs to be. So I'm going to watch it. 126.25. 125.41. Go with the 84-cent stop. I'm gonna still keep an eye on the Disney as well. It's not crossed off my list. It's just not looking as good as it was for the breakout up here. So maybe we'll watch it for a 15-minute buy setup or something. But I'm gonna need to do a little more work now. All right. So I'm gonna be on here for another, I don't know, 5, 10, maybe 15 minutes or so. If you guys have any other questions or anything, make sure you're asking those. It's a great time to ask them. Things have slowed down quite a bit, so you can dig into stuff a little bit deeper. Did you guys see that Apple event though, for real? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? When I was talking about that earlier with the goggles and stuff. Ooh, man, that stuff is wild. I don't even know. I don't see that going mainstream. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know. I don't see that going I don't see everybody sitting in their house plugged into this little headset device, scrolling through their phone. I just don't see it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it'll be sweet, but I don't know. It looks really weird. It starts showing your eyes on it too. I don't know if you saw that, but it won't show your actual eyes. It'll show like a video of your eyes. It just looks creepy, man. It looks real weird, real creepy. I mean the presentation they gave about it at the actual Apple conference, whatever, dude, it looked like a Black Mirror. Like literally looked like a Black Mirror commercial for one of their shows. It was wild. I don't know. I'm not surprised that the Apple stock dropped after that. Scared the shit out of a lot of people, I bet. I do not think that is something that we need in our lives. Maybe it is. Oh, maybe it would be sweet, dude. Could I trade like that? Ooh, maybe I'm hating on it too soon, bro. What if I could trade like that? I could just have my charts right here, and I just I'm like buy, buy, sell, move the stop up. That would be cool. If I could just trade with my hands, just like little movements. 100 shares here, 200 shares there. Bam. That would be sick. But otherwise, for just the stuff they had showed it for was just scrolling through apps or watching TV shows and stuff. I'm like, I don't know if I want to be that into my TV show where I can't even see what's going on around me. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. Maybe you guys are all about it. Apparently, a lot of people weren't though. It scared a lot of people. Guys, I'm thinking about adding and reducing to this actually. 19-cent stop is my original. Could add, probably give a 12-cent stop loss. How far away is my target? 9 cents. So we'll probably give it a 9-cent stop loss, honestly. 606. Average price would be right about here. How many shares would I add? Maybe 606 by 596. Oh yeah, I'm adding 100 shares. Or not 100, I'd be adding 48 shares. Would raise my stop up to 596. Very tempting actually. Full target, I'd be like on a 2R winner. I'm gonna pull up my add to trade calculator just to see exactly how this would work out. Let's see. So entry is 606. Wait, original entry is 596. Original stop was 577. And we're getting 6.06. Stop loss now 5.96. Yeah, I would add 48 shares. Target would be 615 still. So I'd be making a 1.4R on that. Risk would be 0.47. Guys, I'm gonna add this. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and add these shares. This is a nice little 5-minute breakout on STEM. So 48 shares. Still got range, yeah. All right, there we go. Order is in there. We're adding 48 shares once that gets triggered. All right, there we are. So now my stop is moved up to here. There we go. So now we got both of those orders in there. All right. So now I got 100 shares at 601. Average price, 5-cent stop. Let's see, I have about a half-hour risk open on this. About a half our risk open on the stem. Where we at? Stem, adding to the stem. I just cancel this. Just 100 of them. There we go. Oh, did it just cancel that one too? Son of a gun. Alright, looks like I'm going to cancel this. I'm going to go just add it manually. Come on. There we go. Cancel that too. Alright, put my stop loss in here. Come on now. Stop loss 596. Take profit 615. There we go. There we are. Alright, now we're back. Now we're in business. Now we are in business. So added to that one. So I'm risking just over half an R. I will make about an R and a half. So nice little add there. Add and reduce. We're looking at SYFKT SIF. Let's check it out. Getting in up here. Long entry. Yeah. Looking pretty solid right here. And that very much a stage 1. Trying to get to a stage 2. It's struggling a little bit. So you're getting in long 33.50. So you're getting up here. Stop loss at 32. So a little bit of protection. I mean, this one's got a little more rest though. A little consolidation over the 200. So you should be okay. Target at 36. So your target's in the right spot. Yeah, I do like this one. I mean, maybe you could argue it's maybe extended, but this thing looks like it might just get a little bit of a time correction and go. If you get a price correction and it pulls back to the 9 EMA, you might get tagged out there. But I do like where your target's at. I like the trend. I like how it's breaking out over this consolidation. So definitely has some positive aspects. And the stage is a little bit concerning because it is in that kind of a pseudo stage 4. It's trying to get to a stage 1, maybe stage 2, but got some work there. It's a finance company. The SPY's still hanging out up here. Coming up into that resistance a little bit on this 15, you can see here, chopped around yesterday in that area. So hanging out, the stem pulling in just a little bit here. I'm gonna go ahead and raise this up to 97. Just get a little bit more protection there. So now we are at just about 0.4 R risk. Trying to make 1.4 R. All right. And that Shopify is really one I feel like I probably should have had. That was a nice gap. That was a nice gap. I really did like it quite a bit. Should have drawn that line in the pre-market. Man. All right, guys. So I'm going to be calling it a day. Here in just a few minutes. If you guys have any last minute questions or comments, make sure you get them out there. I will answer them right before I get off. Guys, you can keep it on Amazon as well over high of the day. An 84 cent stop loss. Watch Amazon, guys. It does not look too bad. It does have a little bit of resistance, just a bit above that area. I mean, there's a lot of audit or topping tails up here, so sellers are definitely taking control when it gets up here. But nonetheless, it does look a little bit higher. If you want to trade something, keep an eye on Amazon. And Disney ended up rolling over here. The 15-minute buy setup is actually not looking too bad, though. Wanted to get a buy setup on Disney. The 15 minute is not looking too shabby. Getting over 91, 94. Getting in over this bar. Maybe you give it a 50-cent stop. Not too bad, but wanted a little more than I like to see. Citigroup keeps going higher. Citigroup's all the way at this resistance up here, though. Multiple areas of resistance, like a triple, quadruple top, and you're at that 200 period moving average. So I'd be careful with that. BAC does not have that resistance, so BAC does look a little bit better. Bit of a range concern, but and it's extended up here. So if you get some rest, maybe you can take BAC higher. AMD's probably done with that. So Thor should have been in you today, buddy. Should have made some money with that. That was a big time fear of loss, guys. That was, I mean, that I have in my plan too. Whenever it's an earnings gap, whenever it's a great gap like this, you can ignore the average trading range. And it had a great pattern right at like there was so many reasons to like this trade, and I just stuck to that one reason of the range. It's like you can't be that rigid. Trading is about being objective and being rigid, but there's a limit. If you're too rigid, you're too objective, then you won't ever trade anything at all ever. So you gotta have a little bit of leniency in your trading. I don't see anything else to do with these. So there is that. If you guys, like I said, you have any more questions or comments, let me know. Ooh, looks like STEM is continuing to move up, so I'm going to continue to move this up as well. We need about 2 more pennies out of this thing for full target. We're looking at LC for a price target at 1043. It could get there, but you are still in a downtrend. This is still very much in the stage 4 downtrend, so you might just be putting in a higher higher low. Lower high, my bad. A lower high. It's a solid downtrend. This 200, it hasn't broken over the 200 in quite a while. So you're gonna have to do something you really haven't done before. And 1043, so up here, yeah. If it gets through there, maybe it rips to that spot, but 950 is definitely gonna be an area. $10 is probably gonna be in a little bit of resistance, so be careful with it. Casey, you always ask like the greatest questions. Most people just ask, they're like, hey, what's up with LC? Like, what do you think of LC? I'm like, dude, I don't know. What do you mean? It's a stock. It looks like it's going. But Casey, he's like, hey, LC, what do you think of this price target? So now I know that he's looking at like a swing trade. Now I know what his expectation is, guys. Trading is all about expectation. Whenever you just give me a random stock, I don't know what your expectation is. It could be the greatest trade in the world, but I don't know what you're doing with it. I don't know if you're trying to go long, short, day trade, core trade, swing trade. I don't know what you're doing with it. Whenever you give me a little bit more context, just a little bit, just like Casey did right there. He said price target 1043. Didn't tell me much about it. Just gave me a price target, and I was able to actually give him a little bit of data that was hopefully useful to him. So kudos to you, Casey, for always asking trades with actual entry, stop, target. Oh, guys, come on. Stem went 1 penny from break even, or from target, which actually I'm gonna go break even on this. I'm not gonna lose on this at this point. Yeah. So actually, looks like even if I get stopped at 601, looks like I'll still make a little bit. So just a little teensy bit more on the stem. But nonetheless, I did lose an R earlier this morning on the riot, so should be up just over an R today, about 0.4 R, as long as STEM just gets that last penny. Nobody's saying it has to, but I think it should. I think the odds are in our favor on that one. So going to be slightly up today. Not the world's best day. Could have been better. Missed a few trades. Had some fear of loss for sure. Gonna drill down and start attacking that fear of loss. So really be my main focus going forward here. So of course, Casey, thank you for adding some flavor to the chat log, help keeping us up to date. So appreciate you, my man. And with that, I'm gonna call it a day here. As always, thank you everybody for tuning in. Hope you guys come back tomorrow, 9:15 Eastern time. We're gonna start it back up again. So Hope to see you guys